What is going on there, everybody, and welcome back. And I am finally back after 6 long months of not being here. Today, I don't know if I'm gonna do a face cam or not, but it's been a while since I've been on here. I did make a little TikTok kind of video, not too long ago actually. Been streaming here and there, but just been working a lot. Is basically I got a new job. Already just became a manager recently, which is awesome. And I'm just having a good time with job and just been working a lot. So that and Vanguard sucked. But anyways, we just recently had both weekends of the Modern Warfare 2 beta, and the beta was it was decent in my opinion. But today we're gonna kind of go in what was the pros, the cons, or the good, bad, and the ugly, of this game. And once again, I'm sorry for not uploading for so long. Just been busy with life pretty much. And anyways, let's get right into the video. Alrighty, so one of the pros that I am going to have for this game is the weapon. Honestly, the weapon so far, in my opinion, did feel really good. That's usually generally expected to be with Call of Duty. The game looks fantastic, the weapons sound good. And I definitely like the audio in this game, minus footsteps, we'll explain that later on. But how the weapon audios, the weapon sounds, and just all those little attention to details in this game, I absolutely love in here. And it's just so, it feels good to play, in my opinion. Some people I did see they felt the game was a little bit more clunky, but they probably felt it like that just because there's no slide canceling in the game, which is a good transition. That's another good things that I find in the game is no more slide canceling. Yes, there are workarounds that people did find for it, but it's just such an absurd button combo for you to do. In my opinion, it wasn't even worth really trying to do, just because, you're gonna freaking get carpal tunnel within 2 games of doing it, especially how most people play Call of Duties nowadays from the past few years in Warzone. One of my favorite things that two of my favorite things I really enjoyed playing in this beta is 2 modes that they end up bringing back. One of them I had so much fun with, and that's third-person mode. Third-person mode I missed so much from the original Modern Warfare 2 back in the day, and we haven't seen that mode since then. It's so awesome that they brought it back. The only thing that's still a little weird with it is ADSing, but for me it's a little bit more natural because I've done a lot of PUBG and other BR games that are like that in the past. So to me, it's not as much of an issue compared to some people could be. And the other mode that came back, Ground War, but I really like how this Ground War plays so far with the 2 maps that we got. The smaller one, I think is Saeed, I think is the name, I can't remember, but that map I had so much fun on. That one was, of the 2, I like that one just because it is smaller, but it's much more close quarters compared to the other map that we had, which is way more long range fighting. But both played extremely well, and it's really fun to see that we have these big old transport helicopters now, which is something we've never really had in a Call of Duty before. And some of the games I kept on playing, I would see something hyped, they're hey, helicopters dogfight each other, and they would literally just be slamming into each other the whole match, just trying to get each other. And it was just so much fun, and it was just hilarious with it on how people would be with it. That and just having kind of the dogfights or people sniping from the helicopter. If I can find the clip, I'll throw the clip up. I got such an insane snipe. I got a first blood while the helicopter was moving when I was in there proning with that 50 cal sniper that we had in the game, and that was a lot of fun. I can't for Modern Warfare 2, I can't wait for playing more of the Ground War mode, because Ground War was what I did mostly Modern Warfare 2019, because 6v6 kind of sucked, and I'm looking forward to being able to play some more Ground War like that, because past couple of years in Call of Duty we really haven't had that kind of feel, or that big kind of playlist. Some of the other good things that I did actually end up liking, but I wish we had more access to, was the gunsmith. Kinda annoyed me how we only really had it for the M4 platform and a little bit of the Grauman, I think it was, yeah, because I had the 5.56, the MP5, and that Grauman 7.62 version, the battle rifle version. But like that was pretty much all we had, which kind of sucked. And a lot of people did find ways to put other attachments on it, other weapons that didn't have any levels or anything that we could access to in the beta. But I do like it because how once you unlock the receiver for another gun. So here, let's just start off with this. Let me start over. So as, let's just say with the M4 that we got at the beginning, that's what we have to start off with. We leveled it up to like a certain level, like in the beta it was up to level 20. And as we leveled it up, once we hit a certain level with that gun, we unlocked a different receiver. So like I think for the M4 it was that F-Tac Recon, that semi-auto, we got that, and then we used that a little bit and leveled it up, and then we eventually got the like that P90 version of it. I can't remember the name, but I want to say we got that one, and then eventually if you go like a different route, you level that one up. I want to say you eventually got like the M16 and the LMG version, just kind of like branching itself off. But each time you do unlock a different receiver for that weapon, you do get to unlock other attachments for that weapon that you get to use on that whole platform right there. So like just to get, honestly, one of the good red dots, you had to use the M4 platform, but it was that SMG one just so you can use one of the good red dots, because any of the AR ones that you use, you only give you like scopes and stuff, and you're like, I don't really want this, especially for these 66 maps that we had were pretty small. But I like the change of the gunsmith, and I'm hoping that's going to be able to be fleshed out properly. And it is also nice that we're back to 5 attachments only instead of 10 from Vanguard, because that was a big pain because of oh god, all the different weapon damage boosting attachments and stuff. Vanguard's just a mess. Like that's why I honestly am not being posted in the past 6 months, because Vanguard sucked. Oh man. Only if you can see my face right now. Another really good thing was the lethal equipment that we had in here. Mostly that drill charge is like the anti-camper device, but this game is still designed for campers, which is very, very unfortunate on how that is. And, you know, we just have no idea. Also, look at this horrible spawn. I literally just spawned behind this guy. And just wait. This is just insane. And then there's that guy, and then there's that guy. I just don't understand. I don't understand the spawns in these games sometimes, but it is what it is, because the spawning system that we have this year is awful, and I will talk about that later on. But more so you see it in 6v6 compared to Ground War. But anyways, the lethal equipment though, I did end up liking quite a bit, mostly because that drill charge, it is so much fun to use against people who are just hiding in corners, or like areas that you can actually go ahead and use it on, or different walls, because I think that more solid colored wall in your minimap, you couldn't throw it through and have the charge go through the wall and kill people on the other side or damage them. But it does help flush people out though. The only issue I'm gonna see with it is it could be a little broken in the future, but it also could be one of those things to where like people are gonna know the sound of it and just be able to run away like that in an instant. So that's gonna be one of those things that I see happening. But that's to be expected in games that are going to be longer term, especially this one. We still don't know yet, but this is supposed to be a 2-year Call of Duty as far as we know. And then one more good thing I'll go ahead and say, the 6v6 map design is definitely pretty good. Much better than Modern Warfare 2019's, because how big those were. These ones were a lot smaller. The museum map was the only kind of outlier, because it did have a lot of extra space that wasn't even necessary for that kind of playstyle. But it was still very hectic though at times, and usually only a couple people would be trying to go all the way around, on like 1 or 2 people from each team. So usually they would fight each other and whoever won that, and they go around and continue on with their fighting. Oh, and then also connection in here was actually really good for a beta. I was impressed on how good that was for the beta. I've only had a few hiccups here and there with the connection. I did notice that the connection in game, so like how you can turn on your latency through the interface menu, that wasn't, oh, this guy. I forgot about that right there, but anyway, the the beta. So I noticed. So when you actually look in like when you look at the scoreboard to show everybody's pings while you're on PC, it's actually inaccurate. Because from my brother and I, when we were playing, he would say I would have like 20 ping, but when I on my little hotbar thing that on my interface, I would be running about 50, 60, sometimes 70. But the game would be saying I have 20, 30 ping, which is impossible for me to have with where I live. That and Call of Duty does not have enough like servers nationwide, which is very unfortunate. But that skill-based matchmaking kind of screwing over the connection base there, but we'll get into that later on. Alrighty, so now let's go into the okay-ish slash bad section. The one thing, so let's start off with more like the okay side of things, is going to be the perk system. The perk system, I can kind of see what they're going for. You know, we start off with 2 perks and then over time we earn more perks throughout the game, but my big worry about it is, you know, it's certain perks are going to become crutches very easily with those later on in the game ones. Biggest one, Ghost. I'm surprised they still don't have Ghost to where you need to be on the move for it to work properly. But then also, the other really bad thing is Dead Silence is a field upgrade again, and they super duper nerfed it into the ground to the point where Exclusive Base made a video on it, and you know, there's no speed boost or anything anymore. Like, or there is, but it's so negligible you barely notice a difference. When you activate it, because there is an animation for it now, there's a big loud sound cue that I swear everybody within a freaking 50-mile radius can hear you on. And it's just, it's so frustrating that there's still no like Dead Silence or Ninja style perk in the game like most every other Call of Duties used to have. Only within recent history that everybody's just like, or the developers are like, nah, we don't need that anymore. And it's like, come on, man. But like, how, like, I wish they would give us the statistics that they would see on like how does that benefit us more for players to have that kind of balancing in it when it really wasn't needed in the first place, like back then. Because back then it played very well with Ninja and everything like that, and Dead Silence. Like, we didn't have those issues to really complain, especially for once you're playing Search and Destroy. You can only get it like every other round, and that's if you're doing good. Just the big issue that we're having on hand here. I don't know though. That's gonna be one of those things where we don't know what they're gonna do. The game comes out in just about a month's time right now, and we just kind of have to wait and see. But I wish they did their beta a bit earlier so we can give them a bit better like feedback and reception on, even though everybody's very loud and clear. And they did come out and say why Dead Silence isn't gonna be a thing like as a perk, and they want to punish rushers. They don't want them to, I don't know, like, they don't want them to really run around or anything. I don't know. I still don't understand it, because they said they have a playstyle for everybody in the game, but they're only still rewarding their quote-unquote sentinels or the camping group, which is frustrating, and everybody's still really pissed off about that. And even like other people online now are starting to be like, hey, like, this is a new generation of Call of Duty, like you guys are saying. We don't want Modern Warfare 2019 all over again. And that's what I feel like is going to happen here. Is it's going to be like Modern Warfare 2019 all over again, and the game's just going to be more heavily focused around Warzone 2, because, you know, free to play, and it's going to be their money. It's going to be their money maker, literally, because of all the microtransactions, the skins, and everything like that. So I have no idea what's going to happen, and it's very sad that nobody knows what's going to happen or what's the future of the Call of Duty multiplayer is really going to be, sadly. And just because to see them say like, oh hey, we're going heavily off of players' feedback this year, but you know, that never really happened. And it's just like, you know, it's bullshit, you know, it's BS on how that is. It's like, don't tell us that, and then you guys do the complete opposite there. Oh, there's a way for everybody to play. There really isn't. There's one good way to play it for you to be successful in, and that's to sound whore everybody and hide your ass in a corner pretty much and crouch walk everywhere. It's just, it's frustrating, especially for somebody who's been playing Call of Duty for as long as I have, and especially a lot of the other veterans out there. I've been playing since from Black Ops 1, and it's frustrating to see how Call of Duty's really come along, you know. But it's one of those things where we just got to kind of see how it is, and one prediction I did see that it could be very possible is things, if this game actually is a 2-year cycle, multiplayer stuff isn't going to change until after the first year, which I could totally believe, which is very, very sad. And one of the other bad things, kind of transition over to something else, is going to be, of course, skill-based matchmaking. And I noticed my first game playing is just, it was so bad. Like, I usually take a little bit to get adjusted to new games personally. That's just how I am with any kind of game. But skill-based matchmaking felt so rough in this beta. Ground War, you don't see it really, just because the amount of players that they need to find and everything. You didn't really see it. You were able to make plays in Ground War and have a good time. But 6v6 though, people were so sweaty, bunny hopping, jump shotting, like, oh my god, man. People, I've never seen people so sweaty in a beta. Like, it's so bad. And one of the other bad things too is like the bunny hopping. Bunny hopping is horrible in this game. So many people were doing it all the time. It's like, oh, just get good. It's like, I don't need to get good. Just let me have some fun. You know, stop putting me in skill brackets to where I need to sweat and act like I'm playing in the CDL every single time I play. I don't want to do that. I just want to chill out and have fun. And Activision, or even what they kinda talked about skill-based matchmaking, but not really, because they talked about lobby disbanding, because lobbies are disbanding once again, and nobody wants that. And they did come out and say, hey, we're going to take a look into disbanding lobbies and try to see if we can get it, have a better chance of playing it with the same players, you know? But it's just like, there's no lobby disbanding in the first place. It's not that hard for them to do that. The only reason why they do the lobby disbanding is because of skill-based matchmaking, because if like lobby disbanding wasn't there, skill-based matchmaking would fall apart. Like, immediately it would fall apart and wouldn't be able to really do anything. And everybody's constantly still talking about skill-based matchmaking. Every year when there's a new Call of Duty, constantly complaining about it. It's just like, hey, why is this in? But everybody always knows about the argument on that. I'm gonna stop there with it before I just go on it a bit more. And I'm probably gonna have to say one of my last like big gripes with this beta is definitely gonna be like how loud the footstep sounds are. Everybody's already talked about it. Everybody's already explained like how they feel, how tired they are of it, and it's just kind of insane with it, with how bad footstep sounds are and how loud they are in here. It's very unfortunate to see that, and it's just like, come on, man. Just like, why can we hear it from a mile away? Oh, it's more meant for that Sentinel playstyle that we all know. No one just absolutely love about, and it's just so crazy. Oh man, like this game has the potential to be so good, so good. But if Infinity Ward doesn't make the changes that to make the game better or actually a bit more suited for everybody, this is going to be a rough year. And like for me, for 6v6, I'm not a big fan of 6v6 except for third person, because the 6v6, oh yeah, the other thing, spawn system is like a buddy based spawn system where like spawns are downright horrible. They're not even like, you know, like if the enemies are on this side and this side, hey, you're gonna spawn in this corner kind of thing. No, you spawn close to your teammates, and a lot of the times it can end in a lot of different deaths that are, you know, just constantly like, you know, you barely just spawn and you just immediately die because you spawn next to your teammate, but there's an enemy just right around that corner without you even knowing, which is very unfortunate to see and very annoying. But I think that honestly just about does it for now on my impressions and what I thought about the beta. And I'm really hoping that there will be some good changes on this beta going into the full launch of the game, is what I'm very, very hopeful for. But we'll see, because it's only, like I said, it's only a month. Probably more so. Well, no, never mind. Because I was going to say, like, the game does have to go gold at some point, and that's when they can't work on the game anymore. But they still will be working on, like, that launch day patch and everything else along those lines to make sure the game's as stable as possible, which I can understand. But all we can really do is cross our fingers and hope that some actual good changes, at least like for footsteps, lower them down some more. Like as you're full on sprinting, fine, you know, but if you're like walking around and stuff and people can still hear you, like please dumb down footsteps there. Make dead silence a perk or a ninja perk, and you can still have dead silence off to the side. And you know, I'm just, like I said, just hoping that this game turns out to be awesome at the end of the day. And I think that's what we all want, because especially if we're stuck with this game for the next couple of years, I don't think anybody wants to play this for 2 years. And Warzone, we still don't know much information about, and that comes out November 16th here in a few months, so, or a couple months actually. God, time's flying so much. But let me know about your guys' thoughts. If you guys made it to this, like to the end of this video, let me know about your thoughts and everything down below, and your impressions on the beta, and I would love to know your pros and cons, and we can chat in the comments. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys soon, hopefully. Like I said, I've been working a lot, and I apologize for that. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I see you guys next time.